The global economy is changing faster than most people realize. Traditional rules of trade, finance, and geopolitics are being rewritten. Countries are forming new alliances, and emerging markets are gaining influence. Technology and digital currencies are reshaping how money flows around the world. Understanding these changes is no longer optional, it's essential. In 2026, the effects of these shifts will be visible in everyday life. Prices for goods and services, interest rates, and job opportunities will all be influenced by global trends. For investors, this could mean both risks and opportunities. For businesses, adapting to new trade agreements or supply chains may determine survival. Even individuals will feel the impact through pensions, savings, and career paths. One of the biggest drivers of change is geopolitics. Tensions between major powers are influencing trade policies and investment flows. Countries like China, the United States, and members of the European Union are all shaping the rules of global finance. Meanwhile, smaller economies are finding ways to increase their influence. Understanding who holds economic power helps predict future trends. Technology also plays a key role. Digital currencies, fintech innovations, and automation are changing how economies operate. Financial transactions can now happen instantly across borders, and artificial intelligence is improving efficiency in production and logistics. These innovations create new opportunities, but they also introduce uncertainty and require careful navigation. Finally, understanding the global economy helps individuals make informed decisions. Whether it's choosing where to invest, which skills to develop, or how to plan for the future, knowledge is power. By paying attention to trends, people can anticipate risks and position themselves for success. In short, the new global economic order is not just a concept, it's a practical reality that affects everyone. The global economy today is a complex web of countries, industries, and financial systems. While the United States and China remain dominant players, other regions are rising in importance. Emerging markets like India, Brazil, and Southeast Asia are growing rapidly and influencing trade and investment. At the same time, Europe remains a key hub for finance and innovation. Understanding this landscape is crucial to making sense of global economic trends. Trade is one of the main forces shaping the economy. Goods, services, and capital move across borders constantly. Trade agreements and tariffs can change quickly, affecting prices and business strategies. Supply chains have become more globalized, but recent disruptions have shown how fragile they can be. Companies and countries that adapt to these changes are better positioned to thrive. Financial markets also play a central role. Stock markets, bond markets, and currency exchanges reflect the health of economies and investor confidence. Central banks influence these markets through interest rates and monetary policy. Inflation, debt levels, and currency fluctuations can ripple across the globe, impacting everything from commodity prices to household budgets. Demographics are another important factor. Aging populations in developed countries and youthful, growing populations in emerging markets shape labor markets, consumption patterns, and long-term economic growth. Migration, urbanization, and education levels also influence economic productivity and innovation. Countries that manage these demographic trends effectively can gain a competitive advantage. Finally, technology and innovation are redefining the economic landscape. Automation, artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and digital finance are transforming industries. Economies that embrace innovation tend to grow faster and attract investment. Understanding the current landscape is essential to predict where the global economy is heading and how individuals and businesses can benefit. Several key forces are reshaping the global economy today. Technology, geopolitics, demographics, and climate change are driving rapid transformations. Each of these factors influences trade, investment, and everyday life. Understanding them helps predict how the new economic order will evolve. Technology is one of the most powerful drivers. Digital currencies, fintech platforms, and automation are changing the way money flows and businesses operate. Artificial intelligence improves productivity, while e-commerce and global logistics make trade faster and cheaper. Countries and companies that embrace innovation gain a competitive edge, while those that resist risk falling behind. Geopolitics also plays a critical role. Trade tensions, sanctions, and shifting alliances affect global markets. The rivalry between the United States and China, along with regional blocs like the European Union and ASEAN, shapes trade policies and investment patterns. Political stability, the lack of it, can impact investor confidence and economic growth. Demographic trends are equally important. Aging populations in developed countries put pressure on healthcare, pensions, and labor markets. Meanwhile, younger populations in emerging markets create opportunities for innovation and consumption. Migration, urbanization, and education levels also influence workforce productivity and economic potential. Climate change and energy transitions are new but growing economic drivers. Countries investing in renewable energy, green technologies, and sustainable practices may see long-term economic benefits. Businesses that fail to adapt risk disruption from changing regulations, resource shortages, or consumer demand. These drivers collectively shape the trajectory of the global economy and define who will lead in the coming years. The future of the global economy is not set in stone. Experts predict several possible scenarios depending on politics, technology, and market trends. Understanding these scenarios helps investors, businesses, and individuals prepare for what's coming. One possible scenario is a multipolar world. In this case, no single country dominates the global economy. Instead, power is shared among the United States, China, the European Union, and emerging markets like India and Brazil. Trade and investment become more complex, with multiple centers of influence shaping global rules. Countries that adapt quickly will benefit, while those that rely on old systems may struggle. Another scenario involves a shift in trade and finance. Digital currencies, regional trade agreements, and alternative financial systems could reduce reliance on traditional currencies like the US dollar. Supply chains may become more regional, with countries prioritizing local production for security and resilience. This shift could create both opportunities and challenges for global businesses. A third scenario focuses on technological disruption. Automation, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy could redefine industries. Jobs in traditional sectors may decline, while new sectors expand rapidly. Countries and companies that invest in innovation will likely gain economic advantage, while others risk being left behind. Finally, economic inequality and social pressures may shape future growth. Rising inequality could lead to social unrest, changing government policies and consumer behavior. Conversely, inclusive economic policies and investments in education and infrastructure could create stable, long-term growth. These scenarios are not mutually exclusive. The global economy in 2030 will likely be a mix of these trends. By understanding potential futures, individuals, businesses, and governments can make informed decisions to navigate risks and seize opportunities. The new global economic order is not just about countries and corporations. It affects every individual. Your money, career, and lifestyle can all be influenced by these changes. Understanding the trends helps you make smarter decisions and stay ahead of risks. For investors, global shifts create both opportunities and challenges. Emerging markets may offer higher growth, but they can also be more volatile. Diversifying investments across regions, industries, and asset types can help reduce risk. Staying informed about geopolitical events and technological developments is essential for making profitable decisions. Careers are also being reshaped. Automation and AI are changing the job market, creating demand for new skills while reducing opportunities in traditional roles. Continuous learning, digital literacy, and adaptability are key. Jobs in renewable energy, technology, healthcare, and finance are likely to grow, while others may shrink. Your daily life and spending habits may feel the effects too. Inflation, currency shifts, and trade changes can impact the cost of goods and services. Planning your finances carefully, building an emergency fund, and being mindful of global economic trends can protect your purchasing power. Finally, understanding the global economy empowers long-term planning. Education, career choices, investments, and even relocation decisions can benefit from economic awareness. The future may be uncertain, but knowledge allows you to anticipate change, take advantage of opportunities, and minimize risks. By staying informed, you can turn global shifts into personal advantage. The global economy is changing faster than ever, driven by technology, geopolitics, demographics, and climate transitions. Understanding these forces is essential for individuals, businesses, and governments alike. The world is moving toward a new economic order where power is shared among multiple countries. Trade patterns are shifting, and innovation drives growth. For individuals, this means staying informed and adaptable. Investments, career choices, and financial planning should consider global trends. For businesses, agility, innovation, and awareness of geopolitical risks are critical. Countries that embrace sustainable growth, technology, and inclusive policies will likely lead in the decades ahead. While the future is uncertain, knowledge provides a clear advantage. By paying attention to the drivers of change, potential scenarios, and emerging opportunities, people can anticipate risks and make strategic decisions. The new global economic order is not just a distant concept, it affects daily life, finances, and careers. In short, the key takeaway is simple: stay informed, adapt quickly, and plan strategically. The world is changing, but those who understand the trends can turn uncertainty into opportunity. The new global economy is already here, and preparation today will determine success tomorrow.